Yeah, I want to go over a couple things because there seems to be a number of really strange things that are converging that are actually going to send the markets in directions probably people won't expect, including the silver market going up, I think. For other reasons I stated before, but you want to examine this Georgia Guidestones issue again and some other things that are going on too, because a lot of things that appear to be on the surface aren't the way they really are. You know, it's not like the elite got control, and you know, it's not just the Western elite, it's all over the place. Actually, the only way the elite get control or respect, and actually that's how they get better, it's willing people following them, is by respect, is by leadership, by example. There isn't too much of that going around anywhere. I don't give a damn what country it is. But anyway, I want to get on with this Georgia Guidestone issue first a little bit because, I was looking for stories about where they put the block back in place or they took the block away. It was a fake, the 2014. Well, it looks like, I didn't see anything on that reference to that except for Wikipedia. And that's it. It's the only place I saw that. Now, I don't know if that's accurate or not because I couldn't find any other news stories on it. But the thing is, that cornerstone was stolen back in September 11th, 2009. That little block that, it didn't say 2014 back then. It was just, I don't know what it had said. It didn't have, I don't know what it had on it. Just, that was it. Right there, it looks like a block. I don't know what the hell they stole. It was kind of weird that it was on September 11th. And, for all I know, there could be, the elite could be playing games here for all I know, Somebody put this damn monolithic structure up. And I do have a video on it, and I just want to state this. If you watch that video, you maybe want to skip the first couple minutes or so because if you understand about, the financing, you understand about what's written on the freaking walls and on the stones themselves, you could skip the first few minutes. But what I get into later on that video is the connection between East and West. That's where a lot of people they're really missing a boat, That's why I thought that wasn't too bad. It's like some research I did a while back. It's not perfect, but it's not flawless, as far as, presentation. But it probably does bring out a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about, other than the usual blah, blah, blah. Oh, the sky is falling. Oh. But anyway, there could be, I'm looking at something else here, though, because first off, this is something else, with the ISIS plan that Obama's going after him. Former head of the Marine Corps, not a snowball's chance in hell. Obama plan succeeds. Lieutenant General Conway, former commandant of the Marine Corps at the beginning of the Obama administration and during the latter part of the Bush administration, right? Well, this implies something else, though, that, if it was like a slam dunk, you knock out ISIS, they're done, oil prices stay down. But if the problem gets worse, well, there could be a bigger flare-up in the Middle East and the oil prices go up, which means gold is going up and silver is going up. That's another issue I was talking about before. It looks like, I talked about the three scenarios. One of them is playing out right now where everything's going down. But I think all three scenarios are going to actually hit. The one with the budgets, the full faith and credit of the U.S. government coming into doubt, and the problem with the Middle East. I think all three scenarios are going to come about. Now, it's not going to be the end of the United States or anything, but because, first off, what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of other countries' positions are pretty damn precarious. As a matter of fact, in China, the PLA, People's Liberation Army, they're at odds with the Communist Party. They have been, and it's just how it is. I know Putin's got a lot of people even underneath him that are resentful of his power, but they won't say nothing. Everybody's scared, But there's a lot of stuff that can actually split up even bigger. there's a lot of different ethnicities and ethnic groups in Russia and China. There's a lot of stuff that can even split up those countries. You know, they even say the United States can be split up, but that's kind of doubtful. That's kind of doubtful. You know, we're more unified, even though we're more diverse. We're more unified than other countries. That's a fact. That's actually a fact. But I want to get on with something else here, too, because I want to point to this thing. I know we got the 4 blood moons. We already had one of them, and then we're going to have, well, we had 2, actually. There's going to be 4 blood moons, and the other ones are in 2015, I think. The last one's in September 2015. Now, I don't pay attention a lot to this, but there's a lot of biblical verses that are being pulled out. I don't know even if it applies to this time or anything like that, but the sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. No matter what translation you use, it's something like that. It could be referring to the blood moon. But I also see this as an opportunity for the elite to cause people to panic. And panic actually leads to higher gold prices. That's really what it comes down to, uncertainty. Why do gold prices go up? Uncertainty. Now, the one thing I think is going to be a slam dunk, though, is actually palladium. Even though it's taking major hits right now, the physical market is really controlled by the Russians. I mean, they produce 43% of the world's supply. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing on a spot market that's driving it. I figured it was going to come down because it was over 900. If I had it electronically, I would have dumped it at 900. But I have it physically, and I would not be selling it and buying it back, trying to guess, with a spread, because you don't sell it at spot and you don't buy it back at spot. You sell it under spot and you buy it over spot when you're dealing with physical goods. These damn metals brokers suck. That's what I gotta say with that garbage. If it was electronic, I would have dumped it. I kind of felt it was going to come down, but I think it's got a lot more room to move. It's probably going to do a lot better than silver, but I think silver's going to start really doing good here. Now, I want to get on with something with this other thing, with this, George Guidestones deal, because I have a suspicion that that 2014 thing that was put in there probably was not a hoax. They're saying it is. It's in Wikipedia, and they said it was removed, but that's the only place it's saying it. And I'm thinking, what kind of stupid hoax would that be? It's a little bit weird. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not 110% sure, but I think the usual game that the elite play is they play people's fears. And if you notice, the biggest alternative media out there, all they do is play people's fears. So I don't think it's a hoax. I think they're gonna play some kind of garbage to rile everybody up and all this kind of garbage. But I just want people to freaking chill out a little bit. Actually, this is Ina from FEMEN. I think she's the one that's in charge of it or something like that. And I've been putting out a lot of videos anti-Putin this, and because they got so many people in the West worshiping this guy like pile of idiots. But I got to actually say something about FEMEN that at first I didn't really realize something must have been behind these people financially for them to do all this stuff. But I got to give them a lot of credit, because they're one of the few groups out there doing all these things to draw attention to what's going on, how Putin is basically just an egomaniac that's trying to take over the different. He's got a hollow appetite for riches. He's got $70 billion. He's got mansions. He's got everything in the world, and it's not good enough for him. He's a power-hungry individual with an appetite for material things. He's always been that way, and it was noted from his early KGB days. They knew this. That's basically his personality. But these women are the only ones actually out there doing this stuff to draw attention to some of the things that are going on in the world, even if you disagree with some of the stuff. But I got to give them a lot of credit, because to tell you the truth, you never see somebody like Sarah Palin going out there doing this, or Ann Barnhart or something like that. And, I know they're probably getting some kind of extra money or something other than T-shirt sales and stuff to be out there in the middle of, protesting. But all this stuff takes a lot of time from them. They got to do all the makeup. They got to do all the costumes. They got to get out there. They got to coordinate everything. And they always got a lot of people against them. So it's a tough job. It's a lot tougher to do this than it is to just get out there in front of some bunch of conservatives or some garbage and talk some garbage about, oh yeah, we got to do this and we got to do that. Well, they're bringing to the attention, what's going on. And, attention's the way to do it. Attention's the way to do it. So I got to give these women a lot of credit, to tell you the truth. At first I looked at this situation about a year or so ago and I said, wow, they got to be getting paid a lot of money under the table for this garbage. But, there's plenty of women that wouldn't do this no matter how much money they got paid. This is a tough job. And, it's about getting the message out, and it's the only way it gets the message out. Now, here's another Georgia Guidestone. I don't know where this is located, but, we got the bad Georgia Guidestones in Georgia, and this is someplace else. So so you got some hope up there. You got like a panda bear up here on the top. You got a butterfly, a dolphin. You got a cheeseburger and a glass of wine flowing over. And you got a pool of water over here. So, there could be happy times if you want to make the right kind of Georgia Guidestones, or if you want to do some anti-Georgia Guidestones instead of those scary monolithic freaking things that are protected by the Georgia cops up there. I don't know why they're protecting it. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They ought to take that damn thing over there, just like, make it into some kind of like big swimming pool and stuff like that, and put a bunch of bands and make it into a Woodstock grounds and shit like that, and just everybody have fun on it. And if it falls apart, the hell with it. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at the Georgia Guidestones. I wouldn't take it serious. The authorities ought to quit protecting it too much. That's the other thing too. I don't know. I mean, why are they bothering to protect a freaking rock? It's just a freaking rock, right? I mean, what the hell could happen to it anyways? Somebody go there with hammers and chip it away at it, so what? Big deal, right? Anyway, a lot of wasted money freaking putting cameras on that damn thing. But, anyway, just want to say that because, a lot of stuff that's going on, people are being played with fear left and right. So, hey, we got a monolithic structure over here. Maybe this means something too, right? Butterfly, a dolphin, whatever, Anyway, but if it goes apocalyptic, what's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to go back to the caveman times, and maybe that ain't going to be so bad. You won't have cell phones. You won't have to worry about, electronic BS, and you'll just go back to living in the desert. So, if you can figure it out, you figure it out. Now, I just want to state this, though. A lot of times people are not, thinking of the most simple things that they need to be doing. One thing is silver. That is a smart thing because it's simple. It's always been known as money for the last 2,000 years. Everybody knows what the hell it is. I know Palladium is probably going to do better dollar-wise, but a lot of people don't know what the hell that is. But you just got to think about the simplest things and chill out. But, I got to state the deal with FEMEN. I think, they're doing a lot more than a lot of these other freaking, people are trying to be a force in the political world. Like, I don't know, just one I thought of was Sarah Palin. I could never see her out there doing this stuff in a million years. Or Ann Barnhart. But, it goes back to an old scientific principle. A study published by the journal Consumer Research has found that men's cognitive processes are impaired by the sight of a woman in a bikini, or to illustrate a point. And, with FEMEN, they even take it farther than that. So if they want to get the message across that Putin's a piece of garbage, they get out there and they do all their flowers and they get naked or whatever the hell they're doing, and they dance around and they throw dirt up in the air. And I don't know what the hell they're doing, man. They got their own imagination. It's their own deal. So, but it makes people think. It makes people think. So, as long as we got crazy chicks like that, the world's going to keep going. That's what I got to tell you there, too. Don't worry about a freaking monolithic rock in the middle of nowhere in Georgia with the stupid donut-eating cops protecting it all day with the cameras. I don't know what the hell somebody's probably getting paid. Somebody's getting paid to watch that damn video camera of watching a rock. You know what I mean? I mean, crying out loud. What a waste of taxpayers' money, for crying out loud. What a waste. But anyway, as long as we got crazy chicks in the world, some of the stuff that's going to happen ain't going to really last. Because if you want to break down the discipline of any army out there, just put some hot women in there, man. It'll fall apart. I don't care who they are. I don't care what side of the planet they're on, what country they come from. If they get intermingled with some hot women, the whole discipline in the army or the military just falls apart. And then it turns out the women are running the show sometimes, and that's the end of all the warring. So in some ways, I gotta hand it to like FEMEN that they're doing a pretty good job on some things. They shouldn't take it so damn serious all the time. It could be more funny if they were more entertaining, because by them getting out there with all the colors and all the chants and all the stuff they do, it's calling a lot of attention to how Ukraine is getting screwed over, how the Muslims are screwing over women, what Vladimir Putin's doing, what the big banks are doing to the average people. And it'd be good if they went over by the Georgia Guidestones too, but the cops should be, what the hell, I don't know what the hell is with the freaking police to be out there. Those Georgia Guidestones are some of the stupidest things in the world, and but there is some kind of serious plan out there. But I got to tell you this again: no leader is really a leader unless they lead by example. And for them to be a leader and not lead by example, it leaves them open to insurrection and rebellion. And they got a lot of that brewing beneath the surface. It's not just in the West. There's stuff going on in China with the People's Liberation Army that would be unimaginable in the Western and the USA armies or military forces. It just would be unimaginable. They're totally disagreeing with the Communist Party. As a matter of fact, all elitists in the world could actually get fried all at once. That's why the biggest thing they got going against you is this concept of fear. They want you to be fearful. They want you to worry about things left and right, and they don't want you to think. That's the whole problem. So FEMEN's kind of lightening things up a little bit. Actually, that's I like putting the women in with the silver videos, because I don't want people getting all bent out of shape about a lot of this stuff with the economy, because I think things will straighten out. And even if they don't, if you roll up your sleeves and you fix things yourself, you're cool. Now, oil prices, I think, are going to go way the hell up when the silver goes up. And one of the things the common people are going to really have a hard time about is not only the price of goods, but the price of food, and also the price of transportation. Now, one thing I got coming up, I'm going to be doing pretty soon, probably in about a few weeks, is HHO setups on cars. And we'll see what kind of gas mileage we get out of it. And it's a quality one, and we'll see what type of, how well we do with this type of deal in a practical way. So I want to keep putting out some more practical videos and things like that. But, as far as if we get into any kind of political garbage or economic garbage, anything like that, I'm definitely always keep it more light-hearted than the average person out there on YouTube who's always trying to scare you. And actually, you got to really say, shout out to FEMEN, because I think these girls are doing a damn good job now that I think about it, because, most women would not do all this, and, they would just go work in an office. They go to Wall Street. They go like, oh, here I am. I'm flash my pretty eyes, put a dress on, and, And these girls aren't stupid. I'll guarantee you that. These girls that are out here protesting are not stupid. It takes a lot of actual effort and brain power to put all this, orchestrate all this stuff together. So, but it's a lot more than a lot of women would be willing to do for any amount of money. But in most cases, the vast majority of cases, what they're doing is they are fighting the power. They are fighting the power. So, and the power is, a lot of it's in the hands of Vladimir Putin, but it's not just that. It's the Wall Street. It's Occupy Wall Street. It's these phony religions out there that are like, it could be, it could be even with, established Christian religions that are like, they tell you about be this way and be that way, and the leaders on the top aren't that way at all. It's that way with Islam. It's that way with the political leaders. And these women are fighting against that kind of garbage, against a lot of adversity. But the best way to call attention to it is sometimes with their bodies. And, I'm not going to display that here on YouTube because you're not allowed to. But, you get my point. That's the way they do it. And I think they're doing a damn good job on this stuff, too. I think they are. So, but as long as you got people like that who are able to think outside the present norms and just go ahead and be their own fighting force, the New World Order ain't going to survive. The only way it's going to survive is when you got a bunch of giddy-minded, little fearful dweebs hiding in the corner, worrying about what's going to happen next and what are they going to do, and oh God, no, what's the next giddy rumor? That shit is where they got you, man. Just get out there and be your own person. That's all there is to it. So, anyway, anything I put out that's economic, political, or anything like that, it's not going to be super, super serious. And I'm going to tell you the facts, but I'm not going to get into the drama too much. I know that that's just the way I'm going to do things. But getting back to this Georgia Guidestones thing, I don't know. There's something fishy with this whole deal. There could be the elite really did put that 2014 thing up there that may not have been a hoax. But then again, what they're trying to do is play your mind for fear. But what I think is coming up is there's going to be a lot of tumultuous times, and ISIS is not going away because of this fact I just told you here. Former head of Marine Corps Commandant, not a snowball's chance in hell Obama's plans to succeeds. That's a guarantee that it's not going to go away, which means there's going to be permanent and worse tensions in the Middle East, which is going to drive up the price of oil, and also global tensions drives up the price of gold, and that means silver. And we're going to have Russian tensions, which means palladium and platinum. So, even though things look bleak right now, the future's looking bright. It is. And they're not going to win. They're not going to win, man, because there's too many independent people out there that are ready to get out there and fight and do the crazy stuff they got to do to win. That's just how it is.